Hopefully we can get some juicy information. Who better to ask than you? Elephant Rider, new troop.
Never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about, man. It is coming.
What's next for Ranked? How's it going? Have you met your objectives with Rank?
Players were not battling enough. That was the number one issue.
I'm curious how many ranked battles have been completed.
I'll let you take a look because I'm a bit scared of it.
Oh my gosh. Can we expect more builder base updates? We've seen like tweaks and things like that, but...
The truth is, if you wait until whole build is perfect, you're not going to do anything else in the game for a long time. Let's see what happens.
Any thoughts on lab improvements?
Yes, so one thing that we are considering is...
Any super early hints or teasers for Town Hall 19?
Super early, okay? Something we're trying to do is make...
Ferri, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Yes, I really appreciate the insights you gave us last year. You look fantastic.
Thank you, thank you. I feel fantastic, to be honest, so thank you, appreciate it.
Brilliant. Well, like last year, I have taken questions from my community. For yourself, I have put the ranked and battle mode questions and also update questions. So hopefully we can get some juicy information on new troops, Town Hall 19, whatever. We'll see wherever we can tease. But I did want to start on ranked and battle mode first. Ranked's been in the game nigh on a year at this point. So before we delve into specific questions, how's it going? Like, have you met your objectives with rank, your goals on when you introduced it?
That's a great question. And just to give, I think, a bit more context on where we are right now, how we got here. So as we all know, like, we introduced ranked where we are now because, well, we had a problem in the game, which was players were not battling enough. That was the number one issue. So in average, players would battle twice a day, every town hall, across every town hall, which is terrible, to be honest. And we know the issue. And again, if players are not battling, they're not getting resources. If they're not getting resources, their builders are idle. And if they're not progressing the game, they lose interest. So that's where Clash Anytime came in. Was a big change. I hope most players enjoyed that change.
Oh yeah.
And thanks to that, we're able to, okay, now let's think about ranked and competitive scene in the game. And that's where we decided to make some effort there. That's why we split into two different modes. And now players actually have the choice of actually, I want to be competitive or I just want to chill and play some casual battles here. And I think in that sense, it was successful, but it's definitely not where we want it to be for both ranked and the casual mode. So it's still ways to go. I think it was a great first step. And I think also walking that road, we're definitely not there yet.
I had figured that was the case, as you know, you're always looking to iterate and improve. I will say that many of the questions still focused around ranked feeling quite pressurized still. And I'm glad that the league decay was extended the way it was. Like, that was a short-term fix that to me was like the obvious choice. So I'm glad that was implemented, but we still have people feeling like they have to do ranked because of the star bonus and the ore economy and getting ore from that. So I will touch upon battle mode because I'm a big advocate of like adding a bit more purpose and like the star bonus back into there. But how do you feel the situation is right now with the pressure of ranked and trying to make it a bit more optional in enabling people to play the game how they wish?
That's actually a very important topic, I think, because that goes completely against what our intention was to make it less of a pressure on players. Because before it was just like the one thing, it's all together, bundled together. You have to do ranked at the same time you're doing regular battles because it's just the one thing. Now players have the option to like, no, maybe I just want something more chill. I'll do my casual ranked, my normal battles. But that's not really a choice, right? Because the most important things in the game right now, which are ores, are tied to league bonus, which are tied to ranked. So you kind of eliminate the choice. Players don't really have that choice. They have to do ranked. And that's one of the problems we recognize, and that's something we are definitely going to fix. We're already thinking of ways of fixing this. There are other issues as well. I think you mentioned that before, the league decay, for example, that we already made changes to this. And again, I'm going to give a shout out to creators and the community who gave feedback on this, but also you, Itsu, Coco, and Ninja, who were here in Helsinki with us a while ago and gave us feedback on this and other things as well. But it was super important for us to hear this from you guys. And that's why we act so fast. Otherwise, maybe it would have taken a bit longer for us to do something about this. So yeah, in general, we know it's a lot of pressure on players right now. and it's something we recognize it's an issue, and we are going to do something about this for sure.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you recognize the star bonus as an issue as well, and I'll tie back into that with battle mode. I'm just looking, I have quite a few questions regarding ranked. One thing that, and I sent you this beforehand, so I'm curious if you were able to grab the data on this, but because it is not as optional as it could have been, I'm curious how many ranked battles have been done. Did you manage to get an answer on that? Like, since it's been released, how many ranked attacks have been completed?
Yes. So I'm going to have to check that number because, again, if anyone can memorize this, you're a genius. So the number is actually quite nice. I'll let you take a look because I'm a bit scared of it.
Oh my gosh. Right. Do you want to read that to my audience? I don't even want to start.
Bear with me, please. You're probably going to need subtitles for this or something.
I'll have the number on the screen.
Okay, thank you. So total number of ranked battles that have been completed so far, 4,558,974,653. I think I got this right. So
Wow.
It is a big number, as you can see. Yes.
Gosh, I wasn't sure if it was billion or more than billion there, like just at a quick glance, but oh my gosh, that is a lot of ranked battle. And I guess it depends on like the league people are in, like
Exactly,
how
yes.
many attacks they get, but given that ranked has been out, what, like 9 months or so now-ish? Like it's
About so, yeah.
about October, right? So yeah, a lot of battles.
Not bad,
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm glad you were able to get some level of data for me. I will move on to like the community questions for ranked specifically, and then I'll circle back to battle mode after that. And obviously I'm going to ask like the most favorable questions, the ones that were voted the most or asked the most. Like the pressure to feel ranked was basically like the most common theme. But there are some questions that kind of took my eye, if you will. One of them being that they said spectating friends is disabled in ranked mode. Is that intentional? Is that a bug? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. That's why it perked my interest.
Good and easy question. I love those. It is a bug. And probably by the time this video is released, it should be fixed.
Okay.
Because it should be coming the next maintenance we have. So very soon, but it's a bug, yeah.
All right, sweet. There's that one answered. One question that I thought was equally like cool, because I have pitched the idea prior to rank coming out of like extending friendlies to include like a friendly legend day, which I think would be so cool if like 8 streamers got together and like, you know, battle. Everyone could stream their own perspectives. But anyway, someone had asked about a friendly ranked week. And I think just even that in itself is really cool. Just that table format, you could have it, everyone battling everyone depending on how many people sign up and stuff. But I guess, are there any thoughts on extending friendlies in specific to the question like a ranked week as a friendly? So you could actually do that with your friends.
That's actually a very interesting idea, and it goes along with the way we see competitive scene in Clash of Clans and the social and friendly moments between players. So I think it would make a lot of sense, but to be completely honest, we don't have anything like being worked on or planned around this. But again, a lot of cool ideas are born of like community suggestions, creator suggestions, so who knows?
Yeah, well, cool. I'm glad to hear that it's not something you would rule out. Who knows whether you'll get to it one day. But another common request, and I've seen this a lot with the battle modifiers in ranked and people wanting to practice. Would there be the possibility of adding a difficulty setting in battle mode where it doesn't change battle mode at all? Like you don't get extra loot or anything like that. It's literally just if I want to play battle mode with Legend 1 modifiers, then I could.
That's another very cool suggestion, and it connects to our broader idea of battles and how we want players to have more control and freedom, how the way they engage with battles. And I think this connects to that, to be honest, which is pretty cool. But that's also one of the things that we don't have anything planned at the moment. But again, it is something that could work. It's not, again, it's the kind of idea to say, nah, this wouldn't work because it's not something for Clash, it's not something we could ever consider. This is the kind of stuff that's actually pretty cool and could work. So again, who knows?
Okay, I guess it's like when we get to that stage, because I guess I have one more question on ranked, and then we'll move to battle mode. But I do think there needs to be more meaning in battle mode, and allowing people to have a bit more fun and purposefulness with their attacks, and casuals have that sense of progression through trophies. But I guess before we move to that, or it's seemingly connected as well, but like, what's next for ranked?
So I would say a main thing right now is keep listening to feedback and what the community is saying and what creators are saying. Most, if not all, the meaningful changes we made in 2026 in ranked came from community feedback and what you're all saying, which is great. So we are building this together. And a lot of times when you put out these complex systems, like, we're not going to get it right the first time. That's the truth. And it's something we're going to keep iterating, and keep going based on feedback. And that's the process we're in with ranked right now. We wanted to make it more meaningful and make it more like players see the skill matters in the way they're battling and everything. So that's something very important for ranked that we wanted to do. And also, it's connected to it, address battles as well, just the regular casual battles, because both need to work, and they are, even though they're separate, they both need to help players play the way they want and feel like they're being rewarded and feel like they're actually getting something out of it and ultimately being fun. So we're gonna just keep listening to feedback, and we'll see what's next. I don't have anything concrete to share right now about we're doing this, but yeah, we're gonna keep listening to the community and see what happens.
I think in my view for ranked mode, it really depends on what you decide is best for battle mode, because I personally feel like battle mode has no purpose. You're just mindlessly spamming, and I know that sometimes that's what you want, to just farm, but I think the issue is that there's many more casual players where ranked is just not rewarding, so the game is just not fun, and they're constantly just battering their head against a wall on this more pressured, more skilled stuff, when that's not what they want. They do want purpose in their attacks. You don't want to just feel like a bot spamming in battle mode, but ranked just has that added element of pressure, but like you said, they have to do it, and there are players that I feel will be just stuck in a league forevermore. Like, let's say, maybe they're even above the Town Hall floor. As new Town Halls release, and new players, like, you know, if you upgrade your Town Hall, maybe you go up, but like, they might be a Town Hall 18, stuck in Electro 32. Town Hall 19 comes out, they upgrade to Town Hall 19, but everyone else around them is upgraded as well. So they're just stuck and they cannot get out of that league. That's not a rewarding thing. They're just constantly getting battered. And before, with battle mode, more casual players cared about trophies. They cared about being able to share that with their friends, like, what Town Hall level are you? How many trophies do you have? Maybe in time that'll come with, like, what league are you in? But I don't know, it doesn't give people that sense of feeling good at the game. And I know there is a side of people that will say, well, you know, like, no, get good. But I don't think that's fair to have people feel like that. Why not let people feel good about themselves? If you truly know ranked is like the skill expression, and those people aren't on the leaderboard, let them feel good about themselves in battle mode. Give them that sense of progression, give them that purpose, and bring that fun element back to the game in that regard as well. And I think in doing that, you could then add the star bonus to battle mode, and therefore relieve pressure off ranked, which then makes ranked even more skillful, because there's less pressure. You get less casuals farming in there and like just spamming their attacks because they have to. So therefore it's like more competitive for the ranked people. I do think in doing so you would have to do something with ranked and like maybe have cosmetics in there. Even though they're tied to the leaderboard, you could still have cosmetic rewards for taking part in ranked and your achievements in ranked, which therefore gives people a reason to do ranked as well. And you've got purpose both sides, but I do then think that sense of progression. And if someone is behind, I don't know, they come back to the game. Previously, I mean, it's good that the league decay has been extended, but previously you get demoted. Then if you want to grind in order to catch up, you can't, because you're limited in ranked, you can't progress fast enough. At least in battle mode, you can do a bunch of attacks, climb up the trophies, get to the higher star bonus, and allow you to catch up. So it's within your control a bit more that you feel you're not gate-kept to be able to catch up. That's a long kind of explanation on my thoughts, but I feel like what's next for ranked, in my view, is hard to do unless you fix what is in battle mode. And then once you've done that, you could then reiterate ranked mode to fine-tune it even more for the competitive people. And I know that Sabrina in the recent Inside the Builder Hut did hint towards adding a bit more to battle mode and making it feel more purposeful. But are there any further developments other than just recognizing that you do want to address battle mode?
First of all, amazing assessment of the situation. I think it's spot on. It's crazy. So amazing. And yes, I think that's why I said also in the previous question that they're both together. They're like the future for ranked, what we're going to do next. It's also what we're going to do with battle mode at the same time. Like we can't think about ranked and forget about battle mode. As you said, I think they need to both work together. And that's why any future changes we need to make, we need to be thinking about battle mode as well. So we're not in the stage like, it's a problem, we need to do something about this. We are already doing something about this. So we are working on some changes. As you mentioned, it needs to be more meaningful for players who want to play battle mode. Maybe you don't want, again, the pressure of the ranked and everything and all that comes with it. Maybe you still want to progress and feel rewarded and have fun, but in the casual mode, which is fine. So we're working on ways to try to make this work. And again, it's going to be the first time we're doing this, making these changes. Perhaps it won't be great at first time. Maybe it won't. We're going to collect feedback and see what happens. But we are working on something. So it's not something we're still going to think about it and see what we're going to do. We have ideas. We have some things that we believe could work, could be great for players, and could potentially solve all these issues we're discussing here. But again, I guess we're going to have to wait, see, collect feedback, go to Reddit, have some fun reading some threads. And I think that's what's next for us. But it is exciting, at least, to know that something is coming. I think that players at least can take some relief in that, knowing that something is coming.
Well, that is exciting, yeah, because I think there could be a lot of benefits on that depending on what it is, right? And one thing I mentioned in my video when I spoke about this previously is like event troops, for example, don't feel as eventful now because you can only use them in battle mode. And this is always something that can sometimes be hard to step back from, like being into-tuned and really dialed into the active community to know like maybe actually they are impactful to like the more casual space. And I just struggle to like relate to that. So it is important to understand that there are sometimes a lot of other perspectives that everything I'm saying might not be true in those regards. But I think if battle mode did have more purpose, those event troops would then be more popular again. And when that comes to like collaborations, you had like the WWE troops previously, surely that would help in those regards. But yeah, I'm really happy to hear that there is stuff in the works for that and excited to hear more. But I guess that transitions us nicely to all of the update questions I got. Because alongside the hero's journey and the migration, which I already discussed with Rafa, alongside that, clearly a lot of questions were update-related questions, which who better to ask than you?
Yay, let's do it.
I mean, first and foremost, it's funny because a couple of these I actually asked you last year as well, but Elephant Rider, new troop, it's been a while. I don't want to say that. It's been a while since it was, you forgot about it?
Never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Any updates on when we could see that? Because I think it's one of those things that's like, it has been announced, it won the Supercell Make campaign, and yeah, we're kind of like still waiting.
Okay, so good news on that. It is coming very, very soon. Okay, and this time, please quote me on this, because it is coming very, very soon. We have everything ready, I would say, like the troop, VFX, and everything in-game built and ready, tested as well. So it is all good in that sense. So it is coming soon. We're preparing also like a very cool way to release this troop. With some nice content as well that we're producing around this. So it is coming very soon. I'm sorry about the delay on this. We did drop the ball. There were several reasons why that happened. But yeah, it is coming this time. So please don't worry, this year for sure.
And I guess just to clarify for people that when we're talking here, back when the Supercell Make campaign was on, it was to design an event troop. So when I'm saying new troop, it is it's still getting deployed in an event.
Exactly. It's still a temporary troops.
Yes. Just thought I'd clarify because it was a while ago.
So it's a good point.
Anyone that started playing the game now might not realize that was. On that note, there was questions about Supercell Make campaigns. Maybe if it's that long, it's not something we could expect. But you know, the community do like those having a bit more direct impact. I know you look at ideas and things as well, but actually seeing those getting put into the game. Are there any thoughts on bringing more Supercell make campaigns, troops, equipment, defense, anything?
First of all, I love Supercell make campaigns. I think they're incredible, and I love giving players the opportunity to submit their ideas and actually input them in the game. I think that's amazing. There's nothing planned because I think with the previous campaign, the one that we're still going to release the temporary troop, there was a bit of an issue because I think we didn't plan it very well. So that was the problem. That's why it took so long as well. Because implementing these things in the game is not as easy as just like, oh, hey, here's the troop submitted, just develop and put it in the game. Because we do have a long roadmap that we think like months and months advance and exactly what's going to come, what's the theme of everything. So this troop being submitted, what is the theme of this? How it's going to work? How it's going to like, which season is going to be able to fit this in? So it's a lot of things we didn't consider when we ran this the first time. So that's why we don't have anything planned right now. I would love to do it again. As I said, could be like crafted defenses, could be like hero equipment, could be temporary troop again, can be like so many different things now. To be honest, I have a global chat back. Maybe it can be something as simple as like design new emotes for the chat. Who knows, you know? But we still need to sit down, think about this and see what happens next. But there's nothing planned at the moment.
Okay, well that, fair enough. Feel like the next question might be a similar answer, but there were clearly an overwhelming amount of questions about Builder Base. Can we expect more Builder Base updates, Builder Hall 11? I think it's obviously like it just stalled out, right? We've seen like tweaks and things like that, but any advancement on the questions that were naturally asked last year where Seth said you wanted Home Village to be kind of like perfect before you consider Builder Base and Clan Capital coming? Any Builder Base first, any thoughts on that?
All right, Builder Base. As you know, at least recently, we've made some improvements to Builder Base, right? We did release the new builder and also increase the loot obtained through builder battles. So that's something, I think, compared to what we were doing before, right?
Yeah, I mean, the loot was like almost a secret one, if you will. Like you gave the extra build, but then and I think that's the second time you've doubled the loot, actually. But yeah.
So it was something we were like, we need to do something about Builder Base as well. And yes, I think Seth's point still stands true to this day, but the truth is, if we wait until Home Village is perfect, we're not going to do anything else in the game for a long time. And will it ever be perfect? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think that's going to happen because we're always going to improve and making changes to Home Village. So instead, what we're going to do is make more of this targeted, like minor, perhaps you can call minor or not, depending on your point of view, changes to these different modes. So it's not going to be like before. We're going to just not do any changes. We're still going to keep doing them, but just like more targeted and spread out through some updates, but hopefully we'll see more of Builder Base.
So like more quality of life improvements, but then, you beat Builder Base. You got to Builder Hall 10, that's it, you beat it. Like Goblin maps done, like that, at least at the moment, that's the thinking of...
Exactly. I cannot say we are planning like a new Builder Hall, for example. Nothing of the sort. So as you said, more quality of life improvements, things like that. Like the fast forward feature is also there on Builder Base, for example. So at least we're bringing these cool features to Builder Base as well. So yeah, but again, let's see what happens. But for now, that's the plan.
And I guess just so that we're clear for people, Clan Capital, similar...
Same thing, exactly same thing, yeah. We're going to be doing the same thing. Because we made changes to Clan Capital as well recently, right? So we're going to be doing the same thing, but again, this targeted like changes and things like the minor quality of life, things like that.
Okay, well, that's fair comment. Any super early hints or teasers for Town Hall 19?
Super early, okay. I mean, we don't know if it's going to have Town Hall 19 this year, Judo. You're assuming, man. If it's coming this year, let's say that we're...
I think you winked at me there.
No. But let's say if it's coming this year, something we'll try to do, is make old troops interesting again. More part of like player strategy. Once more, like we used to be before. So that's all I can say from now.
Old troops?
Old troops, yeah.
Okay.
Take it as you will. I'm not going to say anything else.
Old troops.
Yeah.
Interesting. Super Electro Dragon. Electro Dragon's not a confirmed... No, Super Troops isn't it? Okay.
So let's see what happens.
All right. We'll see what people think. Old troops. Interesting. I can't focus. All right. Okay. Next question then. Clan Wars. There was a fair few comments, and again, this is one of those situations where, like, I think this is a problem in the active community and, like, higher end players, but there are a lot of draws in Clan Wars. I mean, I see that in my clan. So, first of all, how common are the draws? And secondly, is this a problem that you're going to be looking at?
So, from February to June this year, about 9.5% of Clan Wars ended up in a draw. But
Oh, wow, that's higher than I would think, actually.
there's more. But if we look only at clans made up of Town Hall 18, the number rises to 20%. So it can be an issue. Yes, it's not ideal. I think it was proposed before, perhaps having better modifiers, for example.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea, and it could work, but something that could become a problem is that it would create a different matchmaking pool as well. So we'd have to split matchmaking, and that creates another issue. Then we need to think about how to solve that issue. So to be fair, we don't have a solution for that problem yet. What we try to do, at least for wars that end up in a draw, to increase the ore that is given out to both clans in that case. So it is a way to make it a bit better when you end up in a draw. But we don't have a solution. That's the truth. We're still looking into this, see what can happen. Of course, listening to community feedback, creators as well, with their suggestions, but nothing yet so far.
Yeah. I will say I think it was nice when you increased the amount of ore given for a draw so that those players didn't feel like they were, missing out when they had got a perfect war.
Exactly.
So that was a really good change. I agree. I think it is actually a tricky one to get right. And once you commit to something, you're committed to it, right? It's like, I think that's the tricky balance to that as well. On the topics of like wars, and I played you a clip last year, and I don't know if it came back to haunt you with the eagle decoration.
It's always the Ferri of the past. I know.
I want to play you a clip from last year's interview here, and then I'll ask the question.
Yes, it's in the backlog with a bunch of other sets that's missing Minion Prince skins, because we have so many sets, right? And since it's a new hero, so we do have a backlog of all those skins that are missing, including CWL. So, and I think CWL has a higher priority, if I got the information correct. Don't quote me on that. But yes, all those are being worked on, so we're gonna see for sure CWL skins and all the missing sets as well.
Nice. Okay, awesome. So the question being, can we expect our Minion Prince skin? Because you said it had the highest priority last year.
That's
CWL
true.
Minion Prince skin.
First of all, I don't think that's the same guy, so I'm not taking the blame for that. I just compared the two videos. But what I can say that he's partially right. CWL skin was a priority, and I'm glad to say it's pretty much ready. We're working on the VFX now.
Okay.
But we have the visuals and everything. It's looking, by the way, amazing. I feel bad for the other skins right now, and you all understand when you see it, the Minion Prince skin. It is amazing, and it's coming for sure, and it's about time. I'm sorry it took so long. I don't remember, like a year ago, perhaps, was the interview?
That was a year ago,
Jesus. Yeah. Okay, I need to stop promising things during these interviews with you. But yeah, this time it is coming. I've seen it. It's real.
Well, that's fantastic news, because I think clearly, I got asked about it this time. People have been asking for it for a while. So 2026, does that mean Dragon Duke skin in 2028? Good to hear about the Minion Prince skin, and fingers crossed Dragon Duke skin down the line. Yes. That does bring up a point as well. First of all, that is great news. Intertwined in that clip I just showed you was hero skins for older sets. Is that something that I didn't really get a direct answer for last year? It felt like you were looking to go back over previous skins. That hasn't really happened either for Minion Prince. Now we've got Dragon Duke as well. Can we expect hero skins for older sets as well, or not?
At the moment, I don't have a good answer to give you, to be honest. And there are a lot of issues with that. I think one of the main ones is that at the time, I don't think I considered like a new hero as well, like Dragon Duke. And as you know, we keep releasing skins for every hero every month. So it's a lot to do every month, and we're just increasing the number of skins we're releasing. So it's very hard to just stop, look back at the old ones and start producing even more and more skins. So right now, to be fair, there's nothing I can share about this. Like, oh, there are more skins for the previous sets coming out for Minion Prince and Dragon Duke. The answer is probably not at the moment.
Okay. I was thinking as you were saying that, like, oh, actually, I understand the distribution being a problem, but maybe, like, let's say Clash versus Skeletons event, we got a free hero skin. Maybe it would be cool to feature some of those old ones as free skins, and then distribution is not as much of a problem. But then on the same token, then you can't distribute the new skin in that regard because you actually gave the Skeleton King as part. So, like, we'd be missing out on one of the newer sets. So I guess it depends on what the players would want. Would they enjoy a previous set for free or a new set for free? Like,
Exactly.
either way, I was still kind of hoping for my Magic set to be fully completed.
I
But
know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
another thing we discussed last year, and it was early days last year, you didn't give like promises on this, so don't worry. Not going to be like blaming you on this one. But we did talk about troop skins, which you said you were converting to 3D models. I think you shared with me at the time the Druid 3D model, where it was kind of like the process is adding gradually 3D models of troops, and then troop skins would be an idea in the future. Is that still same line of thinking for possible troop skins in the future?
I would say yes. For example, very recently we seen the Electro Dragon 3D model, for example. It looks really nice because it does change.
I bet you appreciated that.
Especially me, like, yes, Electro Dragon. So it is very, very cool to see that happening, but it is a slow process, to be fair. When we start doing this, it's going to be like a gradual rollout. So it's not going to be like, okay, now every troop in the game is 3D. It's probably going to be like slowly. Okay, now this one, this one.
So you're just building out the models at the moment?
Exactly, yeah.
And then you'll deploy the models gradually.
That's the plan.
And we could expect troop skins. It's still something you are looking to do, but like in the future once they've all rolled out. And
as far as I know, there are no troop skins being worked on, anything like that. Because again, at first we need to do the 3D models and all that, then start thinking about that. And there are so many troops in the game, right, that we need to work on. So I don't think that's being worked on at the moment. I at least don't know anything about it. So I would be surprised. But at least I can tell you that we're working on 3D models. That's for sure. Probably going to have to wait a little longer to have more information on troop skins, unfortunately.
well, I guess even transferring to 3D models will make things more efficient for you guys anyway with like, moving into the future, new level designs, stuff like that. I would assume that becomes more efficient anyway.
For sure.
There was a lot as well, like those are probably the bigger update questions, but there was a lot of like smaller quality of life suggestions and things like that. So I thought I'll maybe just rattle through a bunch of those, if that's all right, to finish off.
Let's do it.
One that I think is really like, a couple of these I think are like really good ideas and necessary. So the first one, when you're scouting a war base, now that you have instantly the ability to just swap out your recipe, like it was kind of fine when you had to go and train your troops. But now if I'm scouting a war base, I could just edit my recipe there and then, tailor it to the base. What about being able to edit your recipe whilst just scouting a base?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's something I thought about like a while ago as well. Like, that'd be so cool. But there are some technical difficulties in making that happen, to be true. So I think that's the main hurdle for us if we're ever going to do that, is just have to solve these technical challenges first. But
Okay.
it is a really cool idea, to be honest. I would love to be able to do that. I think it would be very, very nice. So we'll see.
Yeah. I guess I will say with a lot of these as well, I think the community can appreciate like these small changes if they are something that's really difficult to implement. Then it's kind of understandable that like, oh, you maybe focus on bigger problems than like these where we do have workarounds. I mean, gosh, how many quality of life changes have we had, whether it's from like renaming base layouts to, little bits of things like that, where we spoke about them before, that you've always said the team is wanting to do them. It's just the focus of them and when they become a priority. So I'm trying not to focus on too many little quality of life changes that you've already said are like, yep, they're good. One that I don't think you've commented on as such, but I do see requested a lot, is being able to upgrade walls with Dark Elixir.
That one is unlikely to happen in the near future, I would say, for two reasons. One, we have the Alchemist, which is a way for you to convert resources and get the other resources you need. But another reason that's also very important, I would say, is that for high-end players, like, it's really nice when you find a base with a lot of Dark Elixir available that you can loot. So if players are using their Dark Elixir to upgrade walls, then it'll be much harder to find those bases and much harder to farm Dark Elixir, and that could be a big issue. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
I guess that's true with heroes and pets, and like it's keeping the economy. And like I know last year, one that I haven't got on here, but I asked last year to Seth, even though a lot of people, respectfully probably didn't see the interview, but was being able to upgrade walls without a builder. And the answer was basically the same. Like it would just deplete the economy where you couldn't find bases to attack, and it would kind of like just mess things up. So yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that one. Another one that I is so commonly requested, but I don't think you have answered publicly either. To me, this one's a no-brainer, to be honest, is when you log in and you're being attacked, being able to switch to another profile if you have another account. Because I can understand where you're getting attacked and you don't know how much loot you will lose from that attack. I've seen people say like, oh, maybe they just take away the maximum loot and then after the fact they give you it back, and like that's, I guess that is a workaround, but to me a simple solution is just let us switch to another account.
That's an amazing suggestion, and I think it's the kind of stuff that we need to check how hard it would be to make that change or make that implementation, because if it is something easy, like some of the things we talked before, it's a no-brainer. Like, why not do it? It's just like a positive thing, and there's no reason not to do it. So I think it's something that we should definitely check, and I'm sure the team is going to be watching this interview and everything. They're going to be hearing about this, so hopefully they'll check and see what can be done.
Okay, well, great to hear. There was a surprisingly large amount of comments about the laboratory, people giving different solutions, to be honest. Whether you're like merging labs together or just giving a second worker, or essentially a lot of people feel the lab is the bottleneck. Now, I know you slash upgrade cost and times and stuff like that to try and get a balance across things, but this is clearly a requested feature and something that people were having a lot of problems and questions about. So I don't want to give you a specific, like, second lab worker or anything like that, but any thoughts on lab improvements, let's say?
Yes, so one thing that we are considering is, as you mentioned actually, consolidating the pet house with a laboratory, so you would have a second researcher in a way.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we're looking into it, because it could be like a potential solution to this. But again, there's nothing set in stone yet, or there's something that's being decided, but that's one of the directions we're looking into it.
Okay, so when you say second researcher, the pets would go in the lab, but you don't have to upgrade one troop and one pet.
Exactly.
You could manage those researchers as you want. Okay.
Yeah.
So the upgrade time is still the same, it's just,
Exactly.
I think that's a nice, giving people options of how they want to use those workers. Maybe, because you can only take 4 pets into battle, I guess. So maybe they want to focus on that. And then the troops. That links to another question I had, actually. It is a common question, but I don't think you've answered before. That as pets expand, you obviously take less and less. I guess the same argument as the troops, but you can take more troops if you wish. Pets, you are limited to 4, because that's how many heroes you can take into battle. So any thoughts on 2 pets per hero, depending on like the stage that you get to?
That's a very interesting question, and it's something we toyed with a little bit from Controllable Heroes, to be honest. And it's a great idea, it's something we're thinking about it, but the only issue we see right now is that we don't have that many pet options, I would say, especially when it comes to air pets. So I feel like it'll be very limited right now, and it could be an issue. So I think first we need to think about these things first, these possible problems it could have, and then once we have that figured out, and then we can think about like maybe 2 pets. That would be really cool, to be honest. I'd like that as well. But as I said, there are some problems first that we need to consider before doing anything like that. Yeah.
So as it expands, it could be more likely as a feature. But I think, I think when you're looking at synergies as well, like Spirit Fox, people sometimes think like, okay, Spirit Fox for the invis rotations, or do I go with the Angry Jelly to give defense targeting? Like you could actually merge them together and or you go with the Phoenix afterwards as well, so that you get that little extra life out of your RC dive or your Dragon Juke charge or whatever. I think adding that element would be cool as well, but I get what you're saying. You have to get to that stage where then you're not handicapped by upgrading pets as well, and now you're upgrading heroes. I know, that's part of it, right? Like, you've got other pets to use, but if you had to use all of your pets, you just run into that same problem.
Exactly.
So I guess that's a valid comment. The cookbook has seen plenty of improvements since last year when it was implemented, but practice maps are lagging behind. They're at Town Hall 13. People have been asking, like, when are we getting more practice maps? It always seems to be just low on the priority list. But now that we have the cookbook, any thoughts of tying the two together?
Another cool suggestion, but to be fair, we don't have nothing planned yet about this. So sadly, there's nothing else I can share or promise, because I won't do that again, about this.
It's my fault. You're not making promises. Yeah, I mean, that's the answer we had with like practice maps, and I get it. It's not like as big of a deal. I do think collectively we have a problem that we need to be aware of people like accelerating through town halls. I've mentioned this numerous times, but just educating people in the game. But I understand where it's not a huge priority. Goblin maps, though, the other aspect of a practice map, Goblin maps. I personally love the Goblin maps, but I understand when they're like one and done. It's often suggested of a community sandbox, using the Goblin maps as that.
That's a very interesting suggestion. I think the only thing that when we're considering this is that like we need to find a good way to do this and still be fair, and we'll be able to like not cheat, but like create like a situation of be like you're taking advantage or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we need to consider before being able to do something like that. Perhaps build their base. It's a bit more straightforward to do those things. You don't have the scouting, anything like that. So maybe build their base is a place where this could live. So it is something we need to think about and consider. But again, nothing being worked on plan right now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an area that you have to get right, because even it's, I think I remember there used to be, you know, like people would have a Town Hall 8 account because you didn't have the 24 hours on there, and then people will build like a section of a base just to practice the queen walk and which way the queen would go, even though the buildings are like, they could check the UI, the AI before their attacks and stuff like that, which, stuff like that you definitely have to make sure is in tune before implementing something like that. We spoke as well, I can't remember if it was yourself or David Burke last year, who I'm also interviewing at this time around, but actually I think that was it. David Burke spoke about it on the Inside the Builder Hut. We spoke about it, but the decoration shortage, which is only accelerating with new decorations and with duplicate decorations. So any advancements on the decoration shortage, storage, and the mass amount of decorations, being able to display them. And
well, I wish I had a more positive answer for this one, but the truth is we don't have anything possible solution for this problem yet. I know we discussed some possible scenarios or things we could do, but we haven't advanced on any of those, to be honest, because we had other priorities. That's the truth. Again, we need to just choose our battles, right, at the end of the day. So this is one of the ones we had to set aside for a while. And there are other things that we considered as well, like, oh, perhaps you can send like decorations through like your different village, like build their base and home village. So perhaps you could like store some of your decorations and build their base if you want, or send some of the builder base to home village. So those are some things we have talked about, but it's not really like a proper solution to this increasing number of decorations we're seeing, like, and how to storage and showcase all the decorations you want, because maybe you want to showcase more than you actually can. So it is still something we need to discuss. We need to find a proper solution and try it out. But again, nothing I can share right now regardless like if we have something right now or not.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one. When ranked came out and there was, you know, like the ranked bases, and then your regular home village became your battle base. I did see a suggestion from Rick, actually, one of the Reddit moderators, about maybe you set a base for battle mode, and then your home village is just like if someone visits your base, then you could just have decorations. You can remove the defenses from there because it's only you that's seeing it, or anyone visiting your base. You set your defensive base for battle mode, and yes, it would take up a village slot out of your 6, but if you really wanted to show off your decorations, then I'm sure you'd be fine with that. Maybe that is something that you could consider. Obviously, there's like different suggestions from the community, like showing them inside the town hall, different things like that. I think whatever the solution to help those players that do enjoy showing off the decorations, it would be cool at some stage. Short term, putting them in the builder base and stuff, I think is actually pretty good as well. The last one I had was also very highly requested, and it was a clan name change, which again, I think is only fair to ask. But yeah, is there any thoughts on like actually allowing that at some stage?
Yes, that one came up several times, I guess. And we thought about it could even be like a cool reward for high-level clans, stuff like that, and maybe like something you could unlock as a perk. But I think one of the things we need to just figure it out is like if players can like change the clan names, then maybe finding the clan, looking for the clan could be a bit more difficult if you can keep changing. But again, there's ways to solve that. Perhaps you can search for a clan for its old and new name, something like that. So it is something very cool. And to be honest, it's just that we need to dedicate some time to look into this and actually implement it, but don't have anyone actually dedicated to this right now, to be completely transparent here. But we know it's something the community requested. It would be very cool. So maybe we'll try to push it as a quality of life improvement down the line. We'll see.
Yeah, I think as long as you didn't have the ability to like constantly switch it, right? There has to be a cooldown and stuff. But I think when the game is as old as it is, and you're looking to make sure the game is, has a prosperous future. If clans have been around for like a decade plus, like things change. Maybe you just set your clan real quick when you weren't that serious about the game, and now you're super serious and you want to you have to ditch the progression of your clan, and I can see it's been a friction point. So I think it would be a good change. I agree though, just making sure you get the parameters right, that it makes sense. No pressure on this because I don't have any other questions, but if there was anything else you were willing to share or wanted to say to the community, I did just want to give you a brief space to,
Well, all I want to say is that, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. I think it's really nice that we get to do this, talk to you, talk to players in this setting, because I think it's very important for us to be as close to our community as we can. So please keep doing this. I hope to see you next year doing the next one and putting me on the spot again, please. I just hope players enjoy the future things that are coming to the game. We have a lot planned still for this year. Perhaps a new town hall, who knows, we'll see. So just thank you again.
No, well, I appreciate that. Thank you as well. I know the community appreciate it. I enjoy doing these, so thank you for letting us come across and interview and get the answers for the community that we desire. So thank you so much, Ferri.
Until
next year.
Till next year.
Now I'm going to grill you. I want to dive right in at the deep end. What's the deal with bugs? There's been a lot of them in recent times.
And some of them are even kind of a little bit embarrassing.
The ore bug, the recent hero journey, not being able to claim the rewards. My game would just crash as soon as I went into an attack or anything.
There is just so many combinations where things can go wrong.
This wasn't on my list, but I would love 2v2. Is that something that's even technically possible?
Maybe multiple players playing at the same time together with one hero each.
I did want to transition to more in-depth questions. I'm looking forward to this part. Can you explain how wall breakers work?
They actually don't target the wall.
Can you give a bit of an overview of how troops choose which target they're going to attack?
It tries to kind of guess what is the best place to attack this building. Sometimes this guess goes right, sometimes it goes wrong.
Why does my queen always attack walls?
The queen just checks, okay, all these 3 buildings are behind a wall, I need to break a wall to get there. But there are some other reasons as well.
My healers go off and heal one archer in the corner of a base. Why are my healers doing that?
This is maybe the place where most people get confused. And unfortunately, in some cases, it doesn't go the player's way.
CWL mismatches. When the 5v5 came out, I shared feedback to the team that this is ridiculous.
We have some ideas how to tackle these issues, but they are a little bit tricky to implement. What we are looking into is